Good morning, you're on the Brecky Show with Scotty. It is just about to turn 16 minutes, or turning right now, there you go, 16 minutes away from 9 o'clock on this Friday morning, and a very good morning to this Friday morning. Great music there from Dan Sultan. What a great song, Kimberley Calling. And it's a very good morning. Joining me in the studio this morning, a very good morning to Natasha Storey, Community Engagement Leader, and also Jenny White from Empowering Communities East Kimberley. Ladies, a very good morning to you. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Scotty, and good morning to all the viewers out Kununurra and surrounding. Yeah, we're going good. Good Friday, good productive week.
It is. It's a lovely Friday. It's starting to get a bit warm though, isn't it?
Certainly is.
We've got to expect that at this time of year. Natasha, it's great to have you in the studio. Welcome. Tell us what we're talking about today.
Yeah, thank you for the introductions there, Scotty. So we, Jenny and I, work for Venati Binyaya Aboriginal Corporation, which is a backbone organisation for empowered communities. Empowered Communities is a national agenda right across Australia. So we've got 10 regions working across the nation around Aboriginal-led agenda. So just about getting Aboriginal people at the table, getting their voices heard, and definitely working in partnership with all levels of government and other stakeholders. What a brilliant idea. And how long has
Empowering Communities in East Kimberley, how long has it been up and running?
Yeah, so Empowered Communities East Kimberley has been going on since 2014. So we've had a long run of working with Aboriginal leaders right across the East Kimberley, and I think what we're working for with our leaders as well as our community is looking at a commitment for long-term change, really around securing the well-being of our people in this country.
Fantastic. And you said that this is an ongoing thing all around Australia. There is organisations like this all around Australia.
Yes, there certainly is. All working for the same common agenda in different thematic areas and different ways of working. So it's about working with community and working in a different approach of working with government. So more in partnership with them.
It's all in the name, isn't it? Empowered communities, and like you said, getting them to the table and being part of the discussion.
Yes,
there's so many discussions nowadays, all sorts of things. All the stakeholders need to be there, and especially Aboriginal people.
It certainly is. So one of the big things around having this Aboriginal-led vision is around having a big plan. So we call it a regional development agenda, which is a plan for East Kimberley, and we work with community members around trying to implement that plan. How we do that really is about building the strengths that's already within the communities and just empowering them in different ways and a different approach to try and, make action against what those priorities are. So we've been out to, communities right across the East Kimberley. We've got established local management committees in Wyndham, Kununurra and Halls Creek, and hopefully looking at expanding our footprint down to the Jerrabel and Columbo areas. What we're looking at there is really trying to go in with community and listen to what's important to them. So really about trying to extract what those priorities are, what's important, what are the community needs, and putting in that one big plan so we can actually move forward in making really good and strong change.
They are the valuable first steps, aren't they? Yarning and talking and discussing with each other. They are the valuable first steps to get all that information. It's important, isn't it?
It certainly is. And with that one, it's we're definitely doing the yarning, and we're doing the work behind it. So our work is really doing the secretariat sort of thing. So just going behind and strengthening what community mob are saying on the ground. And it's really about building leadership, building capacity, building capability of making our people right across the East Kimberley really strong, be able to hold leadership positions, be able to have strong Aboriginal corporations, have strong boards, have strong leaders, have strong community members, as well as young leaders coming through the ranks as well.
And now that's an important point as well. Young leaders, the potential is there, isn't it?
it certainly is. And, you know, when you look right across the East Kimberley, there are so many talented and potential and, you know, driven young people. And it's about really leading that way for them, but also holding their vision as well, because the vision that's coming through from the young people is about strengthening what, you know, all the old people have done, you know, since 2014.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about some of the workshops that you're planning on organising.
Yeah, so look, what we're doing around our ACO sector development, which is Aboriginal Corporation development, around building capacity and leadership and things like that. We've got some upcoming workshops that are to be held in Kununurra, in Halls Creek next week, and it's really around the understanding around human resource management. So really trying to work with the leaders in those organisations, but also working with the staff as well, to making sure that our mob are looked after, to really be able to retain and advance through the organisations and beyond. It's really about stronger organisations working together. It's about looking at the recruitment and induction process, you know, all those relevant things around human resource. It's making, you know, a really strong working culture. So the environment, it needs to be good for our mob to continue to stay employed. And I think it's more about offering advice and seeing what else is out there. Every organisation is trying to build their capacity, so it's about talking with everyone else and sharing those ideas and challenges, what's working, what's not working, and how we can actually build upon those ones. And you know, we've got Julie McIntyre, who is the lead facilitator with the manager of the workforce for Kimberley Aboriginal Medical Service. So she'll be facilitating this one. And, you know, she's been working in CAMS and right across the Kimberley for many years, and definitely has a depth of experience we can all learn from.
Well, the human resource is the most important part of any organisation, isn't it? Yes. So these are very, very important workshops. Now, you're planning to do a workshop in Halls Creek next Tuesday, the 21st, 8 a.m. until 3 p.m, and that's happening in Halls Creek. And then in Kununurra, next Thursday, September the 23rd. That's going to be at the Kimberley Group Training Room, 8 a.m. until 3:30. Have you been sending invitations out, or are you encouraging people just to come along?
Yeah, look, bit of both. So we've got a wide network of our members. So we've got 25 right across the East Kimberley, who is one of the incentives about building capacity within the organisation. So we, you know, our spaces are really trying to build that capacity, and those invitations have gone out over the last couple of weeks. Word of mouth, if you're hearing things from other people. It's on our social media page of the East Kimberley, Empowered Communities East Kimberley, and look, it'd really be good it's a good skill to have within organisations, and really put the message out there for anyone who's interested, just about hearing what happens in that space. It might be an interest that you might want to get involved in, and I think we look forward to anyone attending those ones. Just contact Office Mob.
Yeah, so that's a great idea. So if you're tuning in and you'd like to be part of these human resource management workshops and training, stronger organisations working together, you're invited. Get in contact. Can I pass on the BBY phone number? Is that the correct one? Yes. So give them a call on 9169 2272. So that's 9169 2272. You can also fire off an email to info@bby.org.au and try to make it as soon as possible. The meeting is here in Kununurra for next Thursday, but of course, if you get in contact, you're helping out with catering purposes and all those sort of bits and pieces, and let them know that you're coming. They can organise for you to be there. It's going to be a great one. Jenny, have you got anything that you'd like to add?
Well, we can talk a little bit about HR, but maybe while we've got time, we talk about some of the other things that Empowered Communities is doing in the coming weeks.
Yeah, please do.
Some of your listeners are going to know Adele Cox. She started off around here. She's worked a lot in Aboriginal Islander health and mental health in particular, response to trauma and suicide prevention and suicide postvention. Adele is currently in Melbourne, where she's working for Snake, not a reptile. Snake is the national voice for Aboriginal children and their families. It's one of the peak Aboriginal and Islander groups in Australia. Now, a lot of our child and family services are delivered through partnerships. There'll be a couple of organisations, maybe a government funder, a mainstream organisation and an Aboriginal community organisation. And all too often the Aboriginal community organisation feels that it's at the bottom end of the ladder. They end up feeling a bit used or manipulated. And Snake has been doing a lot of research in recent years about how to make partnerships that work for the Aboriginal community organisations. So in a fortnight, just under a fortnight, on Wednesday the 29th, we'll be doing a webinar where Adele will be talking about what Snake has learned to help Aboriginal organisations make partnerships work for them. Yeah,
very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
And again, if you phone that number you've already read out, 9169 2272, we can send you a link to go into the webinar, or Malvern, our communications person, is going to be showing it live on Facebook. And down the track, a week or so after, it will be uploaded to YouTube, so that if you can't make it on the day because you're tied up in work or with community business or whatever, there'll be an opportunity to listen to Adele at your leisure.
Yeah, well done. Adele Cox, Snake Sector Development Manager. Now that Zoom webinar, Wednesday the 29th of September. So not next week, the following week. And that should be a fantastic one. Look forward to hearing Adele talk. And you can register. There's links from Empowering Communities East Kimberley Facebook page. So I would type that is Empowering Communities East Kimberley into search Facebook. All that page will come up. You can go to the internet at www.bby.org.au. You can also phone the BBY office on 9169 2272 and also email project@bby.org.au. Plenty of ways to get in contact and be part of this Zoom webinar. Very important. And we look forward to hearing more from Snake. Give us what Snake stands for again, please.
You don't really want to know. They prefer not to use it. They call themselves Snake, the voice of our children.
Yeah. Okay.
And what it actually stands for is a lot of big words.
Yeah, okay. So, but Snake is spelled SNAICC. All right, so not the reptile, as Jenny just pointed out, not the reptile. Very, very good. And there definitely needs to be some serious spotlights shone on some of those issues, youth suicide, etc. Definitely.
That webinar will be particularly relevant to all those people that are working in the early years.
Yeah.
Early years education and service and support to children.
Brilliant, Jenny. Well, thanks very much for that. Really good. Ladies, it's been a pleasure to have you in the studio. I'd like to offer those seats for you anytime you want to come in and talk about some of the great things you're doing, some of the great things that you're planning, and also if you want to come back and let us know how some of these things turned out.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, the seats are there for you. We've been talking to Natasha Storey, Community Engagement Leader, and also Jenny White from BBY, Sector Strengthening Activities, and we really do appreciate it. Ladies, we're going to be going to the news very, very shortly, but I thought we'll take the long road and play a little bit of Sister Sledge. We Are Family. A more appropriate song. All the best. We'll be letting people know some of these dates during Community Notice Board for some of these events leading up to them for next week, and also for the webinar the following week. Natasha, Jenny, thanks very much for being in the studio. Here's Sister Sledge, We Are Family, right here on Warrangarry Radio, The Brekkie Show with Scotty.